Tonight on The Defense.
How are you approaching the risk of retaliatory tariffs from Canada?
I talked with my Canadian counterpart yesterday. They did not say they're going to retaliate.
American lawmakers grilling White House officials in Washington. Plus, a big ship run aground. Tugboats to the rescue in Sarnia, getting the massive freighter moving again. And stress-free needles.
They made her feel comfortable instantly.
The expanding local program helping kids relax at the hospital.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight in Washington, where Donald Trump's top trade representative sat before a U.S. Senate committee questioned over his boss's latest tariff threat. With more on today's developments, here's Judy Trinh.
Senator Wyden.
The general in Donald Trump's trade war, Jamieson Greer, was grilled on why he was using a 1930 law to put new 50% tariffs on Canada.
Nobody, not even Herbert Hoover, used this provision before, but Donald Trump dug up a zombie law to make things even more expensive for Americans.
The U.S. trade representative justified the actions.
We're fighting against a ban on American liquor on shelves. We're fighting against hard caps on export of American cars. So we've never banned Canadian products. We've never done that kind of thing, but we're fighting against caps on American cheese.
The senators responded with a barrage of examples of the pain Trump's policies were causing. They say last year, costs for the average American family went up by $1,700 and tourism plunged.
Number one, our tourism is down about 40%. A lot of that has to do with the rhetoric that the president has used, and I don't hold you responsible for that. But the 51st state, the governor of Canada, that rhetoric has really inhibited Canadians from coming down.
There's concern the White House has crossed the line with these new tariffs that impact an additional $28 billion worth of Canadian exports.
How are you approaching the risk of retaliatory tariffs from Canada?
I talked with my Canadian counterpart yesterday. They did not say they're going to retaliate.
The Trump administration continues to exempt Canadian energy from tariffs. That's also where they're the most vulnerable.
I mean, it's, you know, the truth is, if Canada wanted to, you could shut down our electricity in New England and cripple oil and gas.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has not ruled out retaliation. The government is considering targeted action, especially in Republican states where seats are up for grabs in this year's U.S. midterm elections. Judy Trinh, CTV News, Ottawa.
The newest tariff threat has hijacked the agenda for Canadian premiers meeting right now on Prince Edward Island. With more on today's conversations, largely held behind closed doors, here's Maria Saru.
All 13 of Canada's premiers spent most of the day around one table. Much of the conversation stayed in the room, but the broader moment was put plainly.
Nothing unites like a common opponent, and there's no more popular opponent in Canada right now than Donald Trump.
And it seems for now, old domestic divisions were set aside, with premiers from Alberta and Quebec saying separatist sentiment wasn't an issue.
No, I didn't hear any comments on that topic.
Premier Smith?
Yeah, no, it didn't come up.
There was more common ground on healthcare, with some premiers calling on Ottawa to pay more.
Today, the country's portion is down to 21%. So we need to see that come back up because the needs are greater.
For the territories, energy security is a top priority to protect and power their communities.
One of the key things that's holding us back is our lack of connection to southern power grids.
We found ourselves in a very dangerous situation last winter where we almost couldn't meet the demand. We didn't have enough generation capacity to meet the demand that Yukoners had. That was during a prolonged cold snap.
They're looking to the federal government to help close those gaps.
Tariffs will likely be back at the top of the agenda tomorrow when Prime Minister Mark Carney meets with premiers, and divisions around how to retaliate could make for tense talks. Maria Saru, CTV News, Charlottetown.
New details are now coming to light from the renegotiated agreement over who profits from the Gordie Howe Bridge in Windsor. With more on that and the change in plans for Friday's opening ceremony, here's Mike Lecouture.
The long-awaited Gordie Howe Bridge will open to traffic July 27th, and the agreement paving the way for that to happen has finally been made public. It says Canada will share 50% of net bridge and crossing-related revenues with the U.S. for the first 15 years. It also notes net bridge and crossing-related revenues is all revenues collected with respect to the bridge, less all incurred operating costs of the bridge. But that contradicts what Prime Minister Mark Carney told CTV Calgary 10 days ago.
We are sharing after Canada is paid back.
Carney attempted to clarify things a few days later.
Splitting of tolls, any sharing of the toll revenue won't happen until all of the debt is repaid.
The 2012 deal would have seen Canada collect 100% of toll revenues until the country recouped the $6.4 billion in building costs. Carney's shifting message drew criticism from the Conservatives.
It's hard for me to believe that him and his finance minister did not know what they were saying at the time, hoping that scrutiny would erode and that ultimately they'd be able to escape the day.
The industry minister deferred specific questions on the bridge deal to the Prime Minister.
And I think it is important to be able to work on the stability of the relationship between Canada and U.S., including when it comes to the Gordie Howe Bridge.
The president of the Detroit Regional Chamber also underscored the importance of the new span.
It helps accelerate commerce and business opportunities on both sides of the border, particularly for the province of Ontario and the state of Michigan.
Friday's bridge opening event was supposed to include U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and Ambassador Pete Hoekstra. But a senior Canadian government source tells CTV News the event will now be a Canadian-only celebration. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Lambton public health officials say the water in Grand Bend is not safe for swimming. They say they've detected high levels of bacteria through regular water testing. Officials say any swimmers should check Lambton Public Health's website before going in the lake.
We are live on location tonight at the Hard Rock Hotel. We're in the Sessions restaurant and we're kicking off Londonlicious. There's some tasty dishes here on the Londonlicious menu. It kicks off on Friday, but we're going to tell you more about that coming up. Conditions across our region today much cooler in terms of daytime highs, averaging about 5 to 8 degrees below where we typically are this time of year. Lots of sunshine though, although we did start the day with overcast conditions. Temperatures on the cooler side this evening, but full sunshine across southern Ontario as high pressure continues to build in. Some beautiful weather coming our way tomorrow. Temperatures are going to heat up just a tad and back to normal as we push toward the weekend. As we head through the evening, about 18 degrees by 8 o'clock. Northwest winds continue. Those northwest winds, though, played some havoc with the forecast this morning with some cloud cover and a few spotty showers. That was all a lake effect. None of that in the extended forecast. Lots of sunshine on the way. I'll tell you when we can expect the next opportunity for rainfall. I know many of you still hoping for a little bit more rain, although the weekend will have some sunshine. I'll have all your local weather details live on location from Sessions Restaurant in the Hard Rock Hotel coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks very much, Julie. A large ship ended up grounded this afternoon in the St. Clair River in Sarnia. 2 tugboats were churning up the river trying to get the lake freighter moving again. Officials say the 225-meter vessel had just left the Cargill grain terminal when it became grounded. A letter from the harbor operator said high winds from a sudden storm may have been a factor. There was no apparent impact for any other shipping traffic in the area, and officials say the freighter was able to continue down the river within a couple hours. Provincial police say they're investigating a fatal crash near Lucan that claimed the life of a teenager yesterday afternoon. With more from the scene, here's Lawrence DeLone.
According to OPP, a 16-year-old dirt bike rider has died following a collision with an SUV in Lucan Biddulph.
Yesterday afternoon, approximately 4:44, members of the Middlesex County OPP, Middlesex London Paramedic Service, Local Fire, and Air Orange were all dispatched to the Denfield Road, and it was just north of Elginfield Road for the report of a two-vehicle collision involving a sport utility vehicle and a dirt bike.
Police say the dirt bike rider was transported to hospital with life-threatening injuries. The teen was later pronounced dead in hospital. The driver of the SUV was also taken to hospital with injuries that were not considered life-threatening.
This one was a difficult one, obviously, given the age of the deceased individual. It's tough on everybody, right? It's tough on not only family, but first responders and anybody that lives in the area or pass by. So if you do find yourself struggling, reach out, get some help. It is available. And let's all be careful on trying to speculate on what happened until we can find the actual answers.
The investigation remains ongoing. Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
OPP say one person suffered serious injuries this morning when someone driving a pickup truck crashed into their horse and buggy near Lucknow. According to police, it happened around 5:30 a.m. before sunrise. They say the person in the buggy was airlifted to hospital in London and the pickup driver was not hurt. However, the horse did not survive. Police say it took about 5 hours before the roadway reopened. London police say they've laid several charges after a weapons investigation in the West End yesterday. They say the suspect threatened a woman with a knife inside a business near Oxford and Hyde Park Road. According to police, the woman was not hurt, and the man then went inside another store and stole alcohol. A 2-hour standoff then played out, and police say he was eventually arrested and taken to hospital with minor injuries. Provincial police are sharing details of their hours-long search effort earlier this week, trying to find a missing toddler. With more on their operation near Listowel and the relief at its conclusion. Here's Scott Miller.
It was all hands on deck when the OPP got a 911 call that a 2-year-old boy had wandered away from his Perth County home and was missing.
Immediately, we had a pretty good response. ERT was dispatched, our K9 officers, Guardian 2, which is our helicopter, and then several drones too.
Shortly after 6 o'clock on Monday night, resources from the OPP, North Perth Fire Department, Perth County EMS, and Huron Area Search and Rescue Team converged on the village of Trowbridge near Listowel. They were searching for a 2-year-old boy who had wandered away from his home and was thought to be lost in a nearby cornfield. Members of the public also offered to help search.
Sometimes that could actually interfere with what we're trying to do, and if we see someone in a field, we may mistake them for the child and have to divert resources to that. So I get everyone's heart was in the right place with wanting to help out, but it was a very organized approach with how we were looking for this child.
Despite all the technology at play and eyes in the sky looking for this missing child, it ended up being simply boots on the ground, making the discovery.
So one of our ERT members and K9 members, during their search through the cornfield, they came upon him.
That was 2 a.m., alleviating the mounting stress for the boy's family and searchers.
After 8 hours of searching for this child, when we got the radio call that he was located, there was just a huge sense of relief.
The boy was quickly checked over by paramedics and returned to his family, scared but safe.
This is definitely showing how the OPP has a lot of resources available, and thankfully there was a successful outcome with this.
In Trowbridge, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Provincial police say 4 men from London are among dozens of people charged in an Ontario-wide child exploitation investigation. They say that operation involved 25 municipal police forces, including London, leading to 63 arrests, 213 charges laid, and 51 victims identified. A local woman living with a disability says construction in her neighborhood has trapped her on a dead-end street, concerned about access to emergency services and getting food. With more on her situation, here's Daryl Newcomb.
Waverley Place is closed in both directions for municipal road work.
trapping Linda Smythe's vehicle in the now inaccessible section of the dead-end street.
My biggest concern, EMS would not be able to get to me. You see the scar on the top of my head. I had 3 brain aneurysms and actually made it to emergency surgery.
A construction notice sent by City Hall back on June 23rd reads, access will be maintained to residences and businesses which remain open during construction. But in the appendix, under street access and parking, residents are told street and driveway access off Waverly Place will not be possible for the majority of this reconstruction project. It then directs residents to park on a list of other streets in the neighborhood. Beyond the confusing instructions, Smythe says her limited mobility makes parking on the other streets unrealistic.
If I were to have been able to move my car, it would have had to have been parked blocks away, and I would never have been able to walk that far to get to my car.
With the sidewalk torn up and a hole in the road, getting between Linda's apartment and Colburn Street requires navigating the construction site. Neighbors say they tried to warn city officials before construction began.
When we initially got the letter, my neighbor got it and showed it to me, and it had the project manager's information on it. So I emailed him with my concerns about my own situation, but also Linda.
CTV News spoke with London's Director of Construction and Infrastructure Services, Jenny Dan.
We're working with the contractor to make sure that at least there is a clear footpath through on one side or the other. We've reached out, and all of our emergency services partners are aware, and they have an access plan should that be necessary.
Dan acknowledges the construction notice might have been confusing for some, and there were residents missed on the street.
We're going to make sure that everybody's informed. She's also got our project manager's number, so if she needs anything, just call us and we'll be there to help.
Because food and pharmacy delivery services can't get to her apartment, Smythe is relying on a friend.
He comes and brings me groceries and passes them over the fence here to me.
Dan says the most disruptive construction will conclude in 5 to 6 weeks. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Local conservationists reintroduced an endangered freshwater mussel today at the Thames River watershed, a first-of-its-kind project in Canada. With more from today's event and what's on the horizon for watershed management going forward, here's Brian Bicknell.
Another boy, yeah. A tiny creature, but with a mighty impact to the ecosystem of the Thames River watershed.
This is one of the individuals that was tagged by the hatchery folks over the years.
This is the kidney shell. Some 800 species are being released into the Thames River by way of Medway Creek in North London. The first time in Canada a freshwater mussel has been reintroduced. Considered endangered for more than 2 decades, the reintroduction is to help stabilize the population and restore the watershed.
Freshwater mussels play an important role in aquatic ecosystems. They're almost keystone species, so they're very important for filtering water. They're very important for providing nutrients to other animals like aquatic insects and fishes, and then off into the terrestrial environment as well.
560. It's being reintroduced through a process called artificial propagation. Females were collected from nearby Sydenham River in 2004. Their young raised in captivity since then. Oceans and Fisheries Canada, the Upper Thames River Conservation Authority, and volunteers from various organizations on hand this day to send them off.
It was really amazing, actually, getting to hold them, see how tiny they are, and it's actually been great here with the community today.
It's one of the last events quite like this for the Upper Thames, at least as we know it. It comes at a time when conservation authorities are in the process of amalgamation.
This work is at risk, funding's at risk, and really the benefits to our watershed are at risk.
The outgoing and final chair of the Upper Thames Board pulling no punches at this event for mussels.
We need your voices to make sure this keeps happening. As we get consolidation, that local knowledge and that local initiatives across the watershed, and certainly this type of work may not be considered mandatory by the province. And so the more voices we have at the table and the more knowledge we have of this.
But while local CAs may soon be extinct, the goal on this day is the long-term survival of a species long absent from the watershed.
Stick it into the divot and then it's done.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
The Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation has issued its first payment of the fiscal year to the city. OLG officials say more than $1.4 million has been transferred to city coffers. The payment is for London hosting Cascades Casino at the Western Fair, which recently underwent a major renovation and expansion.
All right, we are back live on location. London Licious is kicking off, and we are in Sessions Restaurant. We are joined by the executive chef, Christopher Pollock. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Of course.
I'm excited for London Licious because it's always a great opportunity to check out different restaurants in our community. People love to support local. Tell us about your involvement this year.
Well, this is our second year being involved in London Licious here with Sessions at the Hard Rock Hotel. And when I was approached with the opportunity, it really speaks to me, the idea of, number one, supporting farmers, and then number two, like cooking and eating local is incredibly important.
I love that the menus are curated for this specifically. Talk a little bit about curating a menu this time of year and all of the food and produce available.
Well, not just as a chef, but anybody who cooks. If you know anything, this is like the best time of year to cook and to eat. Right now, we're sort of in a bounty. London sits in essentially what I think is the best part, or the best growing part of Ontario. We're surrounded by about 2,000 farms. And all of this product is available in our grocery stores right now. And so when I say a bounty, it's everything right now. It's tomatoes, it's zucchini, it's peppers, it's corn. And it's grown locally by farmers, which I think is incredibly important to support not only farmers, but you're also supporting all of the people that work for the farms, whether you pick it, you pack it, you drive it. So you're keeping that money in our local economy. And I think the other thing that is incredibly important to me as a chef is that this product is fresh. And so essentially it's going to be picked 2 or 3 days ago. It's going to be on the grocery shelves. And so there's a freshness aspect to it as well, but there's also a nutritional aspect that's incredibly important because it is fresh. It contains all of the things that make it beautiful and wonderful, right? So if you love growing, if you love gardening, if you love eating, this is the best time of the year. And so it makes it really easy to plan a menu and to cook when you have all of these things at your fingertips.
I want to eat all of the things. So do you have a couple favorites that you want to tell us about off the top of the menu?
Well, I would start here. This is, obviously we're showcasing tomatoes here, right? So this is, I think, what people sort of refer to, or when you think of summertime, you think of tomatoes, right? So these are heirloom tomatoes, and this is a take on a panzanella salad. So, a bit of bread, bit of tomato, bit of burrata cheese, bit of basil, right?
I love burrata. I love burrata so much. So good.
Very simple, because when you're also cooking local and you're using fresh ingredients, they have so much flavor. You don't really have to do a lot to them, and you don't want to. You just want to let the ingredients shine. Another dish that I really, really like, this is polenta crusted eggplant. So eggplant, again, another vegetable that's right now. And it's a ratatouille sauce, right? So again, you're using all zucchinis, peppers, tomatoes. This is, to me, these two dishes especially, these are summer, right? So these are the two that I really love on this menu.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. London Licious, presented by Growing Chefs Ontario, runs until August 16th. Again, kicking off, there are so many great options on this London Licious menu, again, curated especially at Sessions Restaurant here at the Hard Rock Hotel. I'm just going to go back to eating before I give you your full forecast. Again, thank you so much, Chef, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Julie. When we come back, we check in with the Brown twins during a visit back in their hometown ahead of their 4th NFL season. The tee-up is coming up next. Well, welcome back. It's the Tee-Up with Brent Lail and Brent. A pair of London athletes will soon represent Canada on the international stage.
Yeah, the Commonwealth Games get underway tomorrow in Glasgow, Scotland. Londoners Damien Warner and Julia Tunks are both there suiting up for Canada. 36-year-old Warner is among those ready to take on the competition after battling injury this past year. He's been working his way back from shoulder and Achilles injuries, and if he can be healthy, he can compete for gold. As for Julia Tunks, she's improving every time she steps into the cage. The 3-time Canadian discus champ could be a contender to reach the podium after the 20-year-old has thrown over 63 meters earlier this year. And this week, 38 track athletes were named to represent Canada at the U20 Worlds in Oregon next month. Jenna Tunks, Julia's sister, won the U20 Canadian discus last week. She's on the squad representing London Western Track. And then Ryan Georgeson, who won the Canadian 800 meter, is representing London Legion. Set. And sticking with Legion, St. Thomas Legion track star Xavier Sauer practices out of the blocks in preparation for a big 3 weeks coming up. X, as he's known amongst his teammates, is along with long-distance running teammate Nash Hokersey. They're off to the Athletics Ontario event in Niagara this weekend. Then they follow that up with the Ontario Summer Games and the Legion Nationals in Saskatchewan. Sauer is the 16U Legion champ, while Hokersey both won the 2,000 meters and the 1,200.
I love running. It's just great. I really started to like it more after cross country. Never liked distance too much before that, but I started to really like it after. I'm most excited for Team Ontario and Saskatchewan. It should be pretty fun.
Better PBs, breaking 11 in the 100 for sure, and just going for the best I can do.
From my high school season all the way to now, and a long season for them. Trying to hold them healthy and no any injuries. They're doing pretty good. All these guys are going to be competitive together during nationals.
The Canadian Fastball Championships are coming up next month, and a London team has a shot at a three-peat.
Yeah, huge shout out to the London Lightning U23 team who won the Eastern Canadians back in 2024 and in 2025. And then this week they won gold at the Provincials in Windsor. They'll be Ontario 1 when they go to Nova Scotia next month. The previous two titles were at U19. This time they're trying for a U23. There's Stu Lewis of St. Thomas, one of the world's best slow pitch hitters. He went deep for the Titans. The Skater Edge Titans needed to beat the Aftershock twice to win the Ontario Elims this past weekend at Slow Pitch City in Dorchester, and they pulled it off with a pair of victories. There's leadoff hitter Kyle Knechtel of Ayr running for a triple, and Lewis and the Titans, they're now Ontario 1 at both this year's and next year's Canadian Championships.
Typically in the past it's been for a better schedule, I think, for the next following year, so ultimately we're playing for that, and obviously who doesn't want to be Ontario 1? I think we've gelled together pretty good. We've had a couple of, I don't want to say merges, but we've had a couple individuals from certain teams come across over the last couple of years, and I feel like we've added the right pieces, and obviously results have proven that we have, but the job's never done.
NFL training camps are getting underway. The fourth season for Londoners Chase and Sydney Brown. Before things pick up, though, Brent, they were back home last week for a youth camp.
Yeah, Chase is the Bengals' lead running back in a dominant offense, while Sydney is getting a fresh start after being traded from the Eagles to the Falcons on draft day.
All right, we got to create a wall. Everybody create a wall on him. He's going to get the ball. You get to kind of block for
Sydney Brown of the Atlanta Falcons gives some instructions to youth football players at a camp in his hometown.
It's always great to get back in the community and just see the younger generation develop and just kind of be around them and kind of see where the football direction is going in London.
Sydney and his twin brother Chase are both entering the final year of their rookie contracts in the NFL. Sydney is now in Atlanta after a draft day trade, while Chase is the lead running back for the Bengals.
I'm living my dream, man, so I have no complaints.
Chase is coming off his first 1,000-yard rushing season and is a dual-threat weapon in a powerful offense. He has 12 career touchdowns over 45 games.
I've been blessed by opportunity and to be in a really good position, so I look forward to continue to, looking back on what I did last year, learning from it, and being a better player this year.
The two have been working out in Atlanta for the past 3 years and have been locked in for training camp, which begins next week.
I'm going to miss every part of Philly, but I think it just opens up a new opportunity for myself, and I'm just kind of embracing it and going with the punches each day.
Training in Atlanta has helped Sydney get acclimated to the culture of his new team. He'll be battling with a talented safety group for a spot in the defensive backfield.
It's for them to figure out and me to just perform at. So, I fully expect to go in there and start and do exactly what I want to do. And I'm just in there trying to get to know the guys, understand the locker room, understand the culture, and just be a great teammate.
Set, go, run. Back in London for a pair of camps this summer, the Brown twins were feeling the energy from the kids.
I think it's cool as two London athletes that were in those kids' same shoes. It's cool to kind of be the role model at this point and just be here, kind of see and show face.
And sticking with football, an exciting weekend this weekend, Carlyle. The London Junior Mustangs are hosting the Provincial Minor Football Championships. The Stangs have 2 teams that have qualified, the 14U and the 16U team, and the 12U squad won their provincial championship last weekend.
All right, that's Brent Lale, and that's the tee-up. Thanks, Brent.
Yeah.
And we're heading back to the Hard Rock Hotel now, rejoining Julie Anderson, who is live on location for us. Julie, it doesn't look like you've put much of a dent on those. I don't know if you're still full from the sandwich we had yesterday.
I know, I'm eating again, right? The tuna tartare, one of my very favorite dishes, so I've been eating that. But I didn't want to eat too much because that would have been bad when I was giving you the forecast. So I may have to take some more bites as soon as we're done. But we have a great-looking weekend, kicking it off with lots of sunshine and warming temperatures. So temperatures well below normal across the region today. We hit a high of just 20 degrees. If you were near that shoreline of Lake Huron, it was cool with that northwest wind whipping off the lake. 13 degrees, our low temperature. Another cool start expected heading into tomorrow morning in our sunset just before 9 o'clock. Temperatures north of us, 17 to 18 degrees, not even breaking that 20-degree mark. Skies are clear. We do have some rainfall off in eastern Ontario and south central Quebec, picking up some rain showers associated with that low pressure system. The cold front that moved through yesterday, sparking all of that active weather, has now moved off to the east. Temperatures heating back up on the west coast. And through the interior of British Columbia, it's been hot, breaking records and dry as we edge closer to home. Conditions close to normal through the southern prairies and a bit above, and then the Great Lakes, temperatures cool. Single digits overnight in Mount Forest, KW 9 degrees, and in London will hold at 10. Going out 48 hours, not a whole lot to show you tonight on the forecast model. That area of high pressure will hold strong, so that means sunshine for tomorrow and Friday. The next opportunity for rain coming in as we head into Saturday night. We do have some showers in the forecast Saturday night into Sunday with the possibility of some thunderstorms. This will be in advance of a cold front that comes in on Sunday. Your Thursday forecast, a cool start in the morning, winds out of the northwest. Winds, though, will be lighter through your Thursday. The forecast high, 24 degrees. So 4 degrees warmer than today. Nice and comfortable. For those of you who don't love the heat, I'm sure this forecast is making you smile. Lots of sunshine Friday and 26 degrees, 27 on Saturday with a mix of sun and cloud. Nighttime rain. The rain should hold off. We should get through the day dry until after sunset, so likely nighttime through the overnight and early Sunday morning. Showers in the forecast on Sunday. That cold front comes through, and then the temperature drops as we head back into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and by drop just a couple degrees. It'll be lower humidity as well. This forecast featuring no major heat, so that's good news. I know many of you struggle this time of year when we get into the heat and intense humidity. This forecast has none of that. 22 degrees tomorrow under a mix of sun and cloud areas north. And the winds will not be as strong coming off the lake tomorrow, so a better beach day, but still a bit cool for me. 25 degrees for your Friday, Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud, and 26 and 27 with showers in the forecast right across the area. Sunday, next week looks great, comfortable, great for outdoor camps and activities in and around the area. Temperatures between 25 and 26 degrees. Now, we're currently running a contest giving away dinner for 2 on our website at any participating restaurants associated with London Licious. So you will get to choose, I think, or perhaps you'll get to go to one of them. Anyway, head to our website for your chance to win. Again, London Licious, presented by Growing Chefs Ontario. Kicks off this Friday, goes until August 16th, and over 50 participating restaurants, which is absolutely amazing. Again, the focus is on local farmers, local food, local produce, and really some special menus, and a great opportunity for you to support restaurants right here in our community and to eat some absolutely fantastic food. So I'm going to try something else here. This, I believe, is the gnocchi, and it looks so good. Carlyle, I think I need to add this into my contract about eating dinner on location at least once a week, and in the newsroom, of course, too. I'll send things back to you.
It's a perk we could all, I think, work in. I like it, Julie. Thanks very much. Still ahead, the potential tariff impact on Canadian clothing makers despite their protection under the North American Trade Agreement.
We want you to live summer 365 days, 12 months of the year. We can make it happen tomorrow morning in Pricetown.
We're giving away $100 OLG vouchers. This could change your life. Good luck.
Who's hungry, London? Growing Chefs Ontario presents the return of London Licious, July 24th to August 16th, spotlighting unique and delicious eats in the Forest City. Enter now at ctvlondon.ca for your chance to win dinner for 2 at one of the amazing restaurants.
Canadian clothing manufacturers are bracing for the potential impact of new U.S. tariffs. The industry has been protected by the current North American trade deal, but that may not be the case much longer. Matt Gilmore reports.
In the heart of the plateau, factory workers hand-stitch high-quality boots to be sold across Canada and the United States.
Doesn't exist. We're probably the last ones.
Maintaining these local manufacturing jobs is a point of pride for Pajar. But the head of global sales says new 50% tariffs on Canadian-made clothing and apparel could make that impossible.
It's a big threat on the survival of the factory, of course, because you're looking at huge increases in tariffs, definitely reduced business.
Boots made here are covered under the CUSMA Free Trade Agreement. Until now, those products have been shielded from Trump's tariffs. No more.
CUSMA was your comfort zone. We produced for years. We shipped to the U.S. and then CUSMA is in jeopardy or under review, question mark. And then this happens.
It will for sure mean higher prices for American consumers.
You can absorb 2, 3, 4, 5 percentage points and just, accept it as part of doing business. But the moment you're in the 10, 15, and in this case 25 for international, 50 to Canada, it's beyond what can be absorbed.
But with the already high cost of living, Greg Nikogosian says he doesn't know how much more customers will be willing to pay.
Definitely makes us worry and start thinking about our future.
Without a deal in place that provides certainty for manufacturers, business groups fear investors will continue to look elsewhere.
We're losing investment, we're losing GDP, we're losing manufacturing jobs as well in the different regions of Quebec. And, there's the impact it has today, but we have to look in the future on the impact it will have on our economy.
And with new sectors now caught under the weight of a trade war, there's even more pressure on the government to find a solution. Matt Gilmore, CTV News.
Canada's main stock index rose more than 100 points, reaching a record high despite tariff concerns. In New York, the Dow fell 6, the Nasdaq lost 146. The Canadian dollar dropped 0.03 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold gained more than $75 an ounce. Oil is up almost $2.50 a barrel. When we come back, Canadian crime stats, the new data showing criminal acts becoming less violent and less severe. Welcome back. Recent data from Stats Canada suggests the country's crime severity index is heading in a positive direction. With more on the takeaways and why they don't always line up with public perception, here's Adrian Gobriel.
A visceral reaction to violent videos.
People are not feeling safe. A lot of people are nervous.
While some may feel that crime is increasing across the country, the latest report from Statistics Canada shares that the non-violent crime severity index nationwide decreased more than 5% in 2025, and violent crime across Canada dropped a little more than 4%.
That's the second decrease after several years of increase.
The crime severity index is relative to the population and the severity of the police-reported incident. Since 2015, the national rate has increased. That changed in 2024.
Almost every province and territory saw a decrease, with the exception of New Brunswick and Nunavut.
Those scenes like this, caught on camera and shared widely, has many Canadians feeling vulnerable.
The numbers are what the numbers are, but I think it's what people feel inside that gives them comfort or gives them concern.
People feel unsafe. Former Toronto Police homicide detective Mark Mendelson believes that the proliferation of violent incidents shared on social media is in part skewing public perception.
Things like Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, people view that and they make their assessments based on what they're seeing on social media.
The former Toronto police officer also believes that the national per capita data doesn't always give a clear picture of what's taking place in a specific city or community.
We've seen the equal number of murders that take place in Nunavut over the course of 36 hours in Toronto.
One crime that did increase in 2025, shoplifting under $5,000, spiked 11%.
We see marauding people going into liquor stores with the hockey bags and just loading up and walking out the door.
While most categories are decreasing, Statistics Canada says a 2-year dip is still too small of a sample size to proclaim that crime is going down across the country. StatsCan analysts tell us that they'll need to see 5 consecutive years of crime stats going down before they can confidently say that the country is heading in a sustained, safer direction. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Canadian researchers say a species of freshwater fish is providing insight into how cancer evolves, survives, and spreads. In this case, it's transferring from fish to fish like a parasite. With more on this discovery and how it could apply to humans, here's Geneviève Beauchemin.
Below the surface of majestic Lake Memphrey-Magog, researchers discovered a strange phenomenon, a contagious cancer spreading among brown bullhead catfish.
One of the things we're thinking about is this actually more common and we just don't know about it?
The finding opens broader questions about the spread of cancer generally, but also about environmental stressors. Anglers began flagging black velvety growths on their catch more than a decade ago, concerned there was a virus or a pollutant causing disease.
They were concerned about seeing these diseased fish with these, inky black tumors.
Wildlife biologists eventually determined a rare skin cancer was afflicting more than a third of brown bullhead catfish in the lake. DNA testing eventually led U.S. scientists to conclude the cancer was actually spreading from fish to fish. They hypothesized it started with one catfish with a tumor shedding cancerous cells. Now, this is only the 4th type of transmissible cancer identified in the animal kingdom, the first in fish or freshwater species. Contagious forms have also been found in the Tasmanian devil, clams, and dogs. The discovery could help study melanoma in humans and perhaps other cancers. Could it tell us more about potential transmission of certain cancers in humans?
I think it could. In humans as well, the cancer is avoiding the immune system somehow.
There's no evidence that cancerous catfish cancer could spread to humans. Still, wildlife officials warn anglers not to eat the fish with tumors. Researchers are asking anglers who find a fish with a black patch to report it so they can get as much information as possible. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Magog, Quebec.
Tomorrow on CTV News, the next installment of our London 200 series. We take a look back at the city's famed fugitive slave chapel and its role in bringing freedom to thousands. That's tomorrow on CTV News at 6.
Our photograph of the day was taken in Stratford on the Avon River. Thank you so much, Brody, for sending this in. Brody is an amateur wildlife photographer from Bayfield. Lots of sunshine in the forecast Thursday. Temperatures still on the cool side. The next opportunity for rain will move in Saturday night, and the chance for showers will linger into Sunday.
Officials with the province's Natural Resources Ministry say 173 wildfires are burning in Ontario's north. They also say most of those fires have started in just the past 10 days, forcing more than 1,800 people from their homes, the vast majority of those being First Nation communities. Indigenous leaders have called for a public inquiry into Ontario's wildfire response, accusing provincial officials of leaving communities to fend for themselves. In response, Premier Doug Ford has said his government has done everything it can to deal with wildfires. 6 beluga whales from Marineland are now swimming in their new homes in the U.S. The process began Monday, and officials say the whales are doing well. Marineland officials had initially tried to send 30 belugas and 4 dolphins to an aquarium in China, but federal officials blocked those efforts. Instead, the animals will end up at several different facilities in the U.S. and Spain. President Donald Trump is renewing threats against Iranian infrastructure, stating U.S. forces will bomb bridges and power plants if the Iranians target a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. Both sides appear to be digging in over the crucial energy shipping corridor, which is largely closed because of recent Iranian attacks. At this point, peace negotiations seem to have hit a standstill. American forces bombed Iran last night, while Iran responded with missile launches on a Jordanian city, triggering alerts in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. In Paris, the Apollo Gallery at the Louvre has reopened several months after robbers stole more than $100 million worth of crown jewels. The Grand Gallery is now back open, but visitors won't see any of the remaining crown jewels. Officials say those have all been removed as museum staff restore the space to its original 17th century ceremonial purpose. They say security has also been upgraded with new cameras and anti-intrusion systems installed. It's been 9 months since the daytime heist took place, and none of the stolen items have been recovered. Finally tonight, staff at London's Children's Hospital are expanding a program designed to make experiences with needles less stressful for young patients. As Rita Ismail reports, many kids fear them, which can complicate routine procedures like vaccinations.
9-year-old Stella is one of many children living with a fear of needles.
I'm afraid of the unknown. I'm afraid of those sharp objects.
Stella's phobia once made routine vaccinations a challenge, but a new approach at Children's Hospital is changing that.
We wanted to find a way to use pharmacologic and non-pharmacologic approaches, empowering the caregivers, empowering our frontline nurses to comfort children during needle-related procedures.
Children's Hospital has expanded its Comfort Promise program, which combines several strategies to reduce pain and anxiety before, during, and after needle procedures.
Hospital-wide lean quality improvement initiative that uses bundled care, which is an anesthetic on the skin, which we call a topical anesthetic, distraction, which is up to the parent and the child, comfort positioning, and sucrose, which is actually sugar, which is a pain reliever in kids under the age of 12 months.
The program was first introduced for IV insertions, but as of July 1st has expanded to nearly every area of Children's Hospital, regardless of why a child is receiving care. Research shows more than 75% of children experience pain during hospital stays, with needle procedures ranking among the most distressing parts of their care. For Stella and her mother, the experience has transformed what was once a source of fear.
They welcomed her, they knew what she was already nervous about, and they made her feel comfortable instantly. They waited until she said go, and then they gave her the needle. It was the easiest thing I've ever experienced. I cried with relief, and she felt so proud at the end. It was amazing.
Dr. Punai says reducing pain and anxiety during childhood procedures can have lasting benefits, helping children recover better, reducing fear during future medical visits, and lowering the risk of vaccine hesitancy. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. I'm back tonight with your late news at 11. Bye for now.